Hi, I'm glad you could join me today because it's a fantastic day, and I thought today we'd just do a beautiful little painting together. So I tell you what, let's start out and have run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I've already done up here. I have my standard old canvas up here. Now I use an 18 by 24 inch because it fits the television screen pretty good, but you use whatever you want. And I've just taken black gesso and painted some basic shapes here. Boy, that looks like a big design in there. Just some basic shapes. I have some ideas of where I want some little trees to be. The black gesso is allowed to dry completely, and then on top of that, this time I've taken a little bit of liquid clear in very, very small amount. And I put a little of that on there, and it makes putting a dark color on a transparent color much, much easier. And for the transparent color, we've just used a mixture of alizarin crimson and a little phthalo blue in it to make sort of a lavender color. And I've covered the entire dark area with that lavender. Up here, just liquid white. Okay, I know that seems like a lot, but it's really not. Liquid white and a little bit of transparent color. In fact, one of the biggest questions I get is, how do I tell if a color is transparent? Well, the easy way is to take a little and put it on a black canvas. If it still looks black, it's transparent enough for what we're doing. It may not be totally transparent, but sometimes semi-transparent is sufficient for what we're doing. If you put it on here a little color, and say like white, it's very opaque. You put it on here and it looks white, then it's not transparent enough for what we're doing, okay? Good. Let's just have some fun today. Let's start with the old 2-inch brush. I'll go into a little touch of phthalo blue. Just a small amount, I don't want much. Just tap it into the bristles. And maybe, yeah, right up here. We'll just put in a little touch of sky. I really do not want to have a great deal here. About like so, that's enough. I'm going to wash the old brush. Very little color up there. There's the fun part. I thought today we'll take a little titanium white, a little touch of yellow ochre in it. Just a little bit. Just want to make a nice little glow back here. And right in here, we'll just put that, and that's yellow ochre with a little titanium white. Just in those light areas. And just sort of let them blend together gently. Be very careful though, because yellow ochre mixed with phthalo blue will make a bright green. So don't use very much of either color. And be very, very careful. That's one of the reasons I've used lavender in here, is because if the lavender touches the yellow, then all that happens is it turns a nice brownish color. And we don't mind that today. Okay, I'll clean off the old brush again. Now then, one of the nice things about using the black gesso is that it paints all of the dark areas for you. So I'm going to just take this old 2-inch brush and tap into a little bit of that nice lavender color that I've covered the black areas with. And now I'm going to just begin tapping in some very basic little shapes. There. Very basic. Virtually no paint on the brush. I mean, this is just almost no paint, because you can pick up whatever you need off this area where you've already put it. Begin forming some very, very basic little tree shapes. Very basic. Oh, that's all we're looking for. It's just general shapes. We're not looking for detail or anything else at this point. All we're looking for is these nice basic shapes. There. Maybe in here, just all kinds of little background things. Very soft, very gentle, very quiet. You can just barely see them in places. Just let them whisper at you. But all the time, see, the liquid white is mixing with the color it's on here, then that's all mixing with the color here. And you get these beautiful, beautiful blended effects automatically. There. If you try to do this in traditional painting methods, it would take you a long, long time to create this beautiful misty effect. And here, as you know, if I go over 30 minutes, well, they have no sense of humor at all. There. But already you can see all kinds of little background trees and just little happy things happening. And virtually, you have done nothing. All you've done is spread a little color out. Okay, there. And you begin seeing shape and form as you do this. And when you're doing it at home, don't just try to copy what I've done here. Look at your painting, because every single painting will be different. It'll be unique. We don't use any patterns here. We don't trace pictures on here and then try to just fill in the blocks. We really teach you how to be creative, how to use your imagination. If you just trace a painting on a canvas and do it just, all you've done is taken somebody else's idea and filled in the block. I want to teach you how to create your own masterpieces. Okay, now then, just beat it to knock off the excess paint. And the more you do this, the softer it'll become. It'll just get so soft that it just absolutely disappears after a while. Wipe the brush on a paper towel or old rag if you have it. But look at that. I just love these very soft blended effects. All right. Now then, tell you what, let's do. Let me find my liner brush. We'll go into some paint thinner. And I want to make a paint here that's very thin. Very, very thin. It'll literally run right on the palette here if we're not careful. It's consistency of ink. Turn the bristles, bring it to a nice sharp point. And this liner brush has very, very long bristles on it, so it holds a lot of paint. Now then, we want to put the indication just here and there of a little trunk, a few limbs, some sticks, some twigs, little happy things in here. There we go. See them? And just put them in wherever you think they might live. There, wherever you want them. And we're using exactly the same color that we made the trees out of. So it doesn't stand out too bright or too dark. It's the same color. I want to retain that. There. Okay, maybe over in here there's a few that go clean on up through. We don't know. Trees grow just however makes them happy. There, just as many or as few as you want in your world. Maybe there's one. Yep, you're right. Now, I get to ask quite frequently, is it best to make tree branches and limbs by pulling the brush down or going up? Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Some people will find that it works better one way for them. Others will find it works better the other way. Try both ways. Find the one that works best for you and enjoy. There we are. Now then, you can go back to this brush that we used to do all this tapping and just tap here and there and soften a few of those so you don't see all of it. You just see little areas here and there. And that really helps push it back again. Makes it look even farther away, even more misty. All right. Now then, let's get the old round brush. Round brush is fun. Now then, I want to take and far back in the distance, I'll grab a little green, be right back. Grab a little of that green. I want this very dark though. It's too bright, so I'm going to put a little bit of black into it. Maybe even a little of this lavender. There, I want this dark because I want it very subdued. Very quiet. Don't want this to stand out and bite you. Okay, now then maybe back in here you can make out the indication, just barely though, of some basic little tree and bush shapes. Just barely though. But begin thinking about